story with you and your husband and what you do, because some of them might not have ever met you before, don't know you, don't know about you. So while we're waiting for a couple people to hop on and while I pull up my own notes, why don't you go ahead and just do your little introduction real quick?
Yeah. Well, hi. I'm wondering, have I met any of y'all here? Put into the chat if we've gotten a chance to meet yet. And we're virtually or in person. I've been at several events lately, so I'm excited to see some familiar faces and names. Yeah, so I joined Lavelle in December of 2015. I've been in the direct sales industry for over 20 years though. And a lot of years of that was on the corporate side, and many years in the field. I actually started by doing home parties and things. And um, long story short, as people say when they go into a long story, basically, a friend of mine knew that I had a lot of history in the direct sales industry, and I actually saw Lavelle launch and like pre-launch back in the day, early 2012, like in the early summer of 2012, before they started taking their first orders. And I started hearing about it, and I was really skeptical. And the reason was because I had tried so many products in the past, and I've gotten to see basically behind the curtain of Wizard of Oz, so to speak, of a lot of different companies. And a lot of companies out there, I mean, like, no shade, but a lot of companies out there are good, but once you see behind the curtain, they're not great. You know what I mean? And so I had that experience both in the field and on the corporate side. And so when my friend who joined in early 2014 started talking to me about Thrive, and she was posting and she was doing very well, honestly. She started talking to me about it, and I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical and really very jaded about not just Lavelle as a company, but about the product. I was like, the world does not need another shake, y'all. Like a shake, come on. Like that's been done. And that's really not like, first of all, I wasn't thriving yet. Okay. So I was like in a grouchy, bad mood, skeptical. Okay. So like when people are jerk faces, I'm just like, oh, bless your heart. You're not thriving. You can be a jerk because you're not on thriving yet. But I don't recommend saying that. But it's true. I was really that person. And it's not really like my personality. But meanwhile, I was in a different company doing very well. I was one of the top people at that other company. And, things happen, right? Again, the Wizard of Oz sort of scenario where that company actually shut down. It went bankrupt. It actually got gobbled up by it was a technology company. And we found ourselves back at square one of like, wow, like a lot of our income is gone. There's my dang friend posting about Thrive and how great she's doing. And she had hit 200K in 90 days. She had earned the Millionaire Award. They didn't even have that, but she had earned her first $1 million in commissions in her first 11 months. She was doing really well. She didn't care that Laura Wells was skeptical. You know what I mean? She like kept on building, and who cares? I'm going with or without you. And at the time it was without me. But situations change and seasons change and circumstances change, and it did for me. And so I finally got to the point where I was willing to listen to her. I went from a hard pass to, okay, answer some tough questions, and I'm going to really like interrogate you. And she was like, bring it. I will literally answer any questions that you have. She's like, it's about time. So I did. I asked her all the questions. She actually got me on a 3-way call with Paul Gravett, and I really interrogated him too. And here I am. So like after really poo-pooing it for almost 2 years, being a total skeptic, thinking I knew everything. You probably have some people like this on your like prospect list, honestly, where like she sent me messages and my little icon on Facebook Messenger would appear. I read the message, but I would not reply to the message. That is also known as ghosting. I was a ghost. I was that for almost 2 years. She kept building and building and building her empire. And finally I got to the point where things had changed so much that I asked her, I joined, I thrived in secret as a customer. I hid my DFT because I was like, this is stupid. I mean, I'm like never going to tell anybody about this. But 5 days in, I was like, oh, like the brain fog is gone and I can think clearly. 2 weeks in, I was like, my knee doesn't hurt anymore. What in the world is this like voodoo? What is this? What? I don't understand. Like the name Thrive literally makes so much sense. Like they described it in one word, what all this stuff does. And so that's when my marketing brain kicked in. I was like, this company's smart. They're really smart. Like they've done all the right things all the things I didn't like about direct sales, they threw that in the garbage can. All the things I love about direct sales and social selling, it's like they seem to have it all these hard questions that I asked, they seem to have it all figured out. And so I hit the brand promoter button December of 2015, 10 days before Christmas with 2 teenagers. and a huge income loss. We hit our VIP 1600 in 48 hours. We went 4K in 9 days. We went 12K in 17 days and 80K in 5 months. And we've
That's
been
awesome.
maintaining 80K since then. And it's just, I mean, truly, I will say it is the best company. And I feel like I can say that because I've seen a lot of things. I'm like that Allstate guy or whatever. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Is that Allstate? I don't know what that is. But anyways, it's really, I feel like that because I've seen so much stuff that we just really have an amazing company.
And I think
Anyways,
what's
so that's
amazing
me.
about that, Laura, is because that's kind of going to roll into what we're talking about, which is customer retention and a lot of things of that nature. But I was saying to team members recently and today about the fact that you have to show up loud and proud and you have to build as if you have already hit $1 million because people are watching and they're waiting. And if you just sit around waiting until you hit that rank in order to start running like that rank, you're never going to hit that rank, right?
Yep.
Like Laura says all the time, I think one of the things I'm most impressed with her and the reason why I reach out to her so much is because she runs like she is a top leader. She's striving to be that. She is a top leader. And she's like, I've already laid the foundation for when I get there because I know I'm on my way that we're going to be able to sustain and build. And I think that is a great thing, whether you're building a customer base or if you're building a promoter base, that you have got to build the foundation to allow the people to come in and do. Because, right, if your friend hadn't kept building that team with that foundation, would you have ever been interested? Absolutely not. You have to show up loud and proud consistently in everything if you want to build, whether it's a customer or a promoter. So
Yeah.
we'll kick it off. So ghosting, let's start with that because you already went there. So you are a ghoster. I feel like a lot of people always have this problem with customers. They're like, oh my God, they're ghosting me. So let's talk about how to sample and or open and sell, being non-spammy, reaching out after it's ghosting, how much time is too much, too little, when at one point do you look desperate, like you're just like, super spammy Sally? Tell us about that.
So I think with ghosting, let's talk about that. First of all, I guess I just want to clear the air. Ghosting is normal. Y'all, like there's nothing wrong if you've sent out a bunch of messages or whatever and people are ghosting you. There's a couple things. Okay. First and foremost, that's normal. Everybody gets ghosted because, and I really want to break this down for you because it is easier for someone to literally ignore you than to tell you their husband's not very supportive, or than to tell you their budget's too tight and they have $2.15 in their checking account, or whatever a host of other reasons would be, right? It is easier than to just literally say, instead of saying that, they'd rather just ghost you. So please don't think that the answer or the lack thereof is really the real answer. Remove your own emotion from it and realize it has nothing to do with me. If they wanted this, they'd be all up in my inbox. Okay. It is your job to follow up and it is your job to show up and go forward and be confident and, do your due diligence as a promoter. That's literally your job, but it is not your job to drag them up the mountain. And like for me, I guess that kind of leads into retention too. If you have to beg someone to join, you're going to have to beg them to stay. And that is draining on your soul. You will hate this business if you do that. So don't do that. I do have a couple messages that have been working really well for me that I'm happy to share as far as like what I personally send. I'm really big on verbiage. I am a copywriter by trade. One of my other gigs that I've been doing for the past 5 years now is I work with the digital marketing team that's behind very large brands like Zig Ziglar, Les Brown. I do a lot of their emails, their social email, their copywriting, and all of that. Currently, right now, I'm a social media coach for that inner circle mastermind of that digital marketing team. And I help with verbiage and stuff. And so I'm happy to give you some verbiage of like real language that actually works and converts. And
Yeah,
this is stuff that's,
absolutely.
outside of network marketing that it's just sales language. But I feel like one of the hardest things for people to master is that when you become a promoter, just because you hit that promoter button, you do not automatically have to convert into someone different than who you are right now. Okay, I feel like something weird happens. It's like we get abducted by aliens or something when we hit that promoter button, and like all of a sudden we turn into, I'm not Jessica anymore. I'm Jessica, the sales professional. And like, no, girl, no, you're not. You don't need to do that. You just need to be Jessica, right? And so Like if somebody's ghosting you, you can talk like your own normal self. What really has been working well for me and for my team is if somebody's truly ghosting you, I like going back to the sorry follow up. Um, and this is a strategy that we use a lot in email marketing and stuff like that. But if you say something like if you're messaging them and you're saying like, "Hey, Tiffany, I'm so sorry if I did something that upset you. Were you really interested in thriving with me or were you just being supportive? Either way is totally okay. I appreciate you." That is my go-to. I have that in one of my boards. Hopefully you guys are all familiar with boards, but boards is an app that you can literally sync to your keyboard. And it is just something that you copy, that you click on and it pastes it right into your messenger. You can use the notes app of your phone, but it's really, really simple. I'll actually put this into a chat so that y'all can get it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if you can either that or just
Yep.
make like you could, yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah, I
if
put
you
it in
could
the
share
chat.
those on there, perfect.
Yeah. Um, Another one that I send when people like if I'm needing to follow up and it's like they're so hard to reach is, "Hey, I could have totally read our conversation the wrong way. But when we chatted last time, it sounded like you were interested in whatever, thriving with me, promoting the Thrive experience. Am I going crazy?" Like, however you would actually talk, say that. You don't have to be fluffy and sound like somebody that you're not. Okay. So those are just a couple of ideas on how to follow up with ghosts. I will tell you the "I'm so sorry" one, 99% of the time, you'll get them to reply. It's fascinating. When you give someone a reason to reply, and it's basically also opening the door for them to kindly tell you now is not the right time, they will take that door. So instead of just like, "Hey girl, just following up again because I've got a 15% off code," or "Hey girl, I'm just following up again because I've got a sale," they're still not ready, but they don't want to tell you they're not ready. So if you follow up and be like, "I'm so sorry. Did I upset you? Did I make you mad at me? Are we cool? Like, were you just being supportive?" They'll probably reply back and just like, "Oh my gosh, no, I'm so sorry. It's my kids are keeping me crazy busy, or I lost my phone, or my dog ate my homework, or what." They'll tell you something. Um, it's just getting back to the conversation, and then you just pivot. You don't be like, "Oh, I'm glad you replied. You want to buy this stuff and it's on sale and blah, blah, blah." You're just rekindling the conversation again. That's what's going to help you get
And I
kind of
think another
deeper.
one too, Laura, is like exactly what you're saying. Like, hey, I'm so sorry. You know what? Might not have been the best time, but I'm totally here for any questions that you have whenever you're ready. Feel free. And thank you so much for trying and sampling with me. I so appreciate it. Right. Like I've had times where like people, even if they just reach out after I've reached out to them and they even respond and just say, "Hey, no, I'm not interested." You know what? Thank you so much for responding. I appreciate that. I hope you have a great weekend. Like
Yep.
it's like not living in that scarcity mindset.
Yep. Exactly. And not acting like you need them for a sale. One of the things that makes me cringe really hard is I have to get a sale. I have to get somebody thriving. Um, no, you're not. Because if you go in with that kind of mindset of you have to, you got to, you're going to get them, you're coming in there with that sort of energy that's like that desperation kind of energy. And I'm telling you, even if it's on the keyboard, they can sense it. So if you come across with like, I mean, I don't say this out loud, but I come across with the energy of like, "You better hope you're going to be thriving with me. Because if not, like, you're going to be the one missing out because I'm going whether you are or not. Like, you want to be thriving with me. And I kind of feel sad for you if you're not." That's the energy that I'm giving off. Of course, I would never say that. But I mean, actually, sometimes I do say that, but it just depends on who you're talking to. But you know what I'm saying is that kind of energy. If you're so confident in what you have to offer and the person that you are and the products, you don't have to have that scarcity mindset of, there are 2 billion people on Facebook, y'all. Okay. So, like, if 10 of them, including your Aunt Sally, who makes fun of everything you do anyway, ghosts you or tells you no, I'm sorry. There are still 2 billion people on Facebook. Stop it. Stop caring about what it feels like everyone is ghosting you. But in actuality, like, I usually ask my team, when you say everyone is ghosting you or everyone is telling you no, how many exactly are we talking about? If it's less than 100 in a week, we're not there yet. You don't get to say everyone always never whatever. Okay. You don't get to say that truly, because I know it's sometimes the layer of who that person is to you, meaning how important they are to you, that can feel like the weight of everyone saying no to you because you care a lot about their opinion. But truly, let's role reverse it. If they were doing a business that you said no to, would you really like, would you put that much weight on your no? Or would you just basically say no? And like, you still like the person? Like, is it really that deep? It's probably not that deep. I just kind of want to make you gut check yourself a little bit, because when you're getting started in this type of business, it really does feel heavy when you get rejection. But think of other industries. A lot of realtors show homes that people don't buy. A lot of car dealers go and they do a lot of test drives and have people walk on the lot that don't walk out with a car. Any industry, a lot of restaurants have a lot of things on the menu that you're not going to order. Okay. Every industry that is in the sales industry deals with this. Somebody mentioned insurance companies. There's a lot of policies out there that people don't take advantage of. And there's a lot of competition. Y'all go to Home Depot. Look at how many kinds of flooring there are, or types of refrigerators or microwaves. Like, there's enough for everybody. Sales is sales. There are enough people out there for you to get sales, but you got to kind of
Absolutely.
loosen your grip a little.
Absolutely. So, leading into that, let's talk about this. So, you can touch base on this in a sample. You can also touch base in the sense of offering a 30-day as the sample, right? Because I know in our customer group, I actually have your video about 30 days and your sampling on there, and why to do 30 days. So, if you want to know what that is, ask so that we don't have to spend that here. Okay. She's got a whole video on that. If not, please go like and subscribe and follow her. She has great content on YouTube, Laura Wells. But anyway, she talks very quickly about how she's so grateful she didn't do just a 3 or 5 day sample because it took her much longer. But let's talk about leading in, right? Offering in a way that is not like cutthroat, or like, just a way that is authentic. And then also following up then after they get the month, after they get the sample, etc.
Yeah, so my experience with the sample, my first 5 days, I was sick. So I'm grateful now that I had that experience, because I tell people straight up, a sample is not supposed to make you feel like this angels and unicorns falling from the ceiling kind of thing. Like, let's just chill with the expectations. A sample is really to show you how simple it is. So I set the expectations right away, and I tell people with confidence, most people think they want a sample, but what is it that you're actually looking for? Are you looking to tell how you're going to feel, or do you just want to see how simple it is? Well, I want to see results. I want to see how it's going to feel. Then you definitely don't want a sample. What you want is a 30-day pack so you can try it and get results while you try it. That's my verbiage. And then I say, listen, if you do it that way, I can actually get you a way better discount than just paying for a 3-day sample. 3 days is going to cost you $20, whereas 30 days is only $160. You can play with the numbers. It's your business. That's what I do. But I make it like they're doing the math in their head, and it's a no-brainer of, why would I pay $20 for a 3-day sample that only comes with vanilla? Okay, like, you can't even get snickerdoodle or like candy cane, or like, what are you doing? So like, why would I pay $20 for a boring basic sample 3 days when I could pay $160 and get like candy cane and snickerdoodle and all the things? And I'm wording it like that. And so I am moving the energy to where it makes more sense financially and experience wise for them to do it for 30 days. But that's also like, some people really do insist 3-day samples, or if they're I live in an Airstream. I travel full time. We sold our house. We got rid of 99% of our belongings. When we had our house, I had a lot of product that I would keep on hand to do my own samples, like where I would mail stuff out. Nowadays, I don't do that. We literally live in a 25-foot long Airstream. It is less than 200 square feet. Okay. I'm not keeping a bunch of stuff to send out samples. Like, God bless the person who thought, let's do samples from the cloud. Yes and amen. I am not sending samples. But so for if you're doing 1-day samples, it's really just to set the expectations and using language like, of course, you're not going to feel it on a 1-day sample or a 3-day sample. Of course, obviously, that's not going to make you feel thrive working. It's that kind of verbiage that is going to put it in their mind of course they're going to reiterate whatever it is that you're saying. Of course, obviously,
So I
so that
guess
you can
leading
talk
in
to
a
them.
good thing is to ask what they're looking for, right? So
Yeah.
like ask, "Hey, what is it that you're looking for? How can I serve you? What can I do for you? What is it that you're looking for? How, and that really makes it seem customizable and personable, right?"
Yep. And my info funnel, and we all kind of use the same like info funnel. Okay. So what to say when they're interested, you probably have some version of this flow, this conversation flow. But when they say something like they're interested, the very first thing I'm asking is, what kind of things are you interested in? What kind of things are you mostly interested in Thrive to help with? Stuff like energy, focus, mental clarity, weight loss, ache relief, better sleep, better mood, etc. And then I usually put like a little parentheses and a smiley face, like a crazy smiley face, and say, or all of the above, lol. Like, okay, usually, and I'm planting that seed, usually they come back and say either two or three of those things, or yeah, like duh, like you have anything for all of that? As a matter of fact, I do. Okay. So it really is setting those goals, yes. But then that's also going to help you later when they do start their sample or when they do start their Thrive experience and something happens where maybe they're like me and they're calling up their sponsor saying, I think I'm allergic. What's your refund policy? Y'all, that was literally me 7 years ago. Can you imagine? I was actually asking for a refund. It like makes me, what in the heck? Um, but I was not having a great experience. And I did not know back then. And neither did my personal sponsor. Like she was still fairly new, even though she was a top 200K millionaire leader, she was still fairly new in the whole like troubleshooting thing. Um, and so I wasn't having the greatest experience in the world. So if I had known then what I know now, she should have said, well, of course, you're going through like a detox phase. That's totally normal. Obviously you're not going to really experience this in your first 5 days. That's normal, right? So anyways, that's some verbiage that I personally use too.
Okay, great. And then so when they're on it, right, and you're following up, so whether it's a sample or obviously if it's a month, give us your best tips and trips to do that. Because I know for one thing, like Brittany and I were talking, which she'll be jumping on shortly. She was putting her kids to bed, but she was talking about, I get people on Thrive, but I don't keep them on Thrive, right?
Mm.
So I know that you're really great and heavy in your team on customer service and following up, and that's the name of the game. So if you want to touch a little bit on that.
Yep. And I really want every single one of you guys to get into the habit of doing this because when you hit 40K, when you hit 40K, you're going to be eligible for something called the Auto Elite bonus. I actually just hit that this past month in September. And I will tell you, hitting the Auto Elite bonus is no freaking joke. And it is very heavy on customer retention. Customer retention is gigantic. That is really the whole name of the game for Auto Elite. So I don't care if you're a brand new promoter, 4K, work towards hitting your Auto Elite customer qualifications where you want a minimum of 12 customers on a recurring auto ship.
Mm-hmm.
The way to do that is retention. For me personally, I have a spreadsheet. You can do this however. Please don't think you have to have a spreadsheet if you're not spreadsheet kind of person. You know what I mean? It could be pen and paper. Okay, it could be sticky notes, whatever you're going to actually use. Okay. But for me, I have all my customers on a spreadsheet. And it's a Google sheet. That way I can access it from anywhere because we're completely remote. And so I have all of them on there and I just literally go into my reports. Now, this is going to sound like it's a lot, but it's not. It takes me maybe 10 minutes a day to do this, and probably even less than that. But I go into my cloud office under my team, under my customers, and I sort by last order date. And I just check it. Did any of them order today or yesterday? And if they did, because you can see the last order date, when they order anything, you go thank them. A lot of
When
promoters
you
drop the
sort that,
ball.
sorry, Laura, when you sort that, where do you go on there for some of the new people? Even myself, I don't even know where under there to
Yep.
sort. Where do you click?
So under my team,
Mm-hmm.
my customers, and then you'll have them all in a sheet, like layout the report. On the top of each column is a title called, and one is called last order. You can
Hmm.
click on that word last order and it'll toggle and it'll either it'll bring it by ascending or descending. The ones that have no dates there are the one they've never ordered. The ones that have dates there, that's their last order date. So when you sort those, look for the ones that ordered recently, you know.
Perfect.
Okay, one of the things that I see people drop the ball on the most is that I think we've all figured out when somebody, we follow up and we're like engaging and we're like liking their post and wishing them happy birthday and, watching their story. We're doing all our 3, 2, 1s and ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and all whatever acronyms that we are silly and we make up. And then once they order, we thank them. Thank you so much for your order. Oh my gosh, I've added you to the customer group. You're going to be thriving, yay. Okay. And then maybe even when they get their order, you're like, yay, I saw your Thrive was delivered. You're so awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. Here's a little graphic of how to take your 1, 2, 3. And then we ghost them. And then nothing happens. How are they doing on 3 days? How are they doing on 4 days? How are they doing like 10 days in? Right. So I follow up with them. If it's somebody's first month, I follow up with them once a day in their first week, once every 2 days in their second week, once every 3 days from there on out in their first 30 days. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. Because when you have this down pat, like I have a thing in my boards of like just checking in and stuff like that. There's also a really neat tool in the cloud office under resources, and it's called the 30-day follow-up. It's a really pretty PDF that the company made for us of ideas that you can use to follow up with your people. Like it's something like, rise and thrive. What flavor shake did you have today? Happy Friday. What DFT did you choose today? And if it's one that you're wearing too, say like twinning, like you're supposed to make a connection with them, right?
Perfect.
We also have a customer group, so we're really involved in that. And it's just don't make it weird. But one of the things that I think really helps is that say like beyond that first month when your customer has ordered and they need to reorder, make it simple for them to reorder and get with them before their order is going again, because you have to think about this. This is a new purchase that they're budgeting for. If they're not thriving for free yet, which is another tip I want to share with you guys, like get them thriving for free. I'm telling you, retention is a lot easier when they're thriving for free, y'all. Like it's a
That
lot
part.
easier to make the decision. I mean, hello. Okay. So like when I don't know, I love Thrive and Thrive is worth every penny, but it is way more fun to order when all you're paying is like $14.99 for shipping. Okay. So
Agreed.
get all your people thriving for free. But like think about this. If it's a new person who's thriving, and they're, a week from running out of their Thrive, they're sitting there right now, hemming and hawing on their budget. Should I reorder or do I need this money for something else? They're literally thinking right now, like not to freak y'all out, but they're really thinking like right now, weighing it out. Should I click that delete button or no? If you're in there making it easy, making it fun, bringing them part of the community, making it to where like you do not want to go without your Thrive, you need to be getting them saying all the good things that they're loving about their Thrive experience so that you can remind them when they're a little nervous about the budget part of it, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a huge deal. When they do go beyond a month and they reorder or say, oh my gosh, I love people who like go in there to their own account when the company sends out an email, like something on sale, and they go in there and order random stuff, like they order gummies or whatever, just like without my help. I'm like, oh, I love, right?
I
So like
love
when you
you.
go, no. So when you're going into those reports and you see, oh my gosh, she just reordered her gummies or like placed a random order for skincare or whatever. Don't just say like, yeah, we got a sale. Message them and say, I saw that you ordered blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Act like, write this down. I'm going to be Paul Pogarette for a second. Y'all write this down. Act like every reorder is the first order.
Yep. That's a
That
great tip.
kind of energy. Every reorder should be the same as a first order. When you make people feel like they are the best thing in the whole world to you that day, they will continue to want to have that kind of feedback. You might be
Absolutely.
the only person in their life that's giving them that kind of energy. People do things for a lot of different reasons. Some of it's for recognition, some of it's to hear thank you, some of it's to feel appreciated. Some of them just
Absolutely.
want to like I want the bottom line, just give me the results and leave me alone. I have some of those too. But seriously, don't forget to check your reports and help them thrive for free.
And that's awesome too, because Brittany and I and the rest of our team have been growing a customer group. And one thing that I've been implementing is even when they're like sampling, like today I had two people because we were doing this 30-day thing. And basically I went in there when because I sent it to the back office and I got the email, hey, it's shipped. I literally went in there and go, guys, like cheer on Tisha. She's about to try Thrive for the best time. Tell her what your day one was like, right? Same thing. Brittany's doing a challenge right now for those that are in our group where she's actually, for every customer that goes in there and adds two people and sends their address, she's sending free samples to help them thrive for free. So that customer group for the people that are on our team, it is a game changer. So I wanted you to kind of touch on, because you've been doing this for years, long before anybody else had one. So I want you to couple of quick tip best practices, and then also what do you implement and have found works the best for retention in helping your customers thrive for free?
The number one retention that helps them stay is when they're thriving for free. I feel like that's a total no-brainer. That's also the trickiest part, obviously, but don't discount it. That should always be your goal, is to literally, you're taking one thriver and turning them into three thrivers. That's really good for your volume. Okay, so getting them thriving for free is really great for retention, and for your business, to be honest. So that's first and foremost. Somebody asked in the chat, do I use thank you cards and send them items monthly? So again, my situation is different, but I do want you to think of a way to show appreciation. Yes, every single month that they have a recurring auto ship. I taught in West Palm Beach about the app a lot. And one of the things that I do is when I have somebody who's, for me, for my business policy, it's your business. You can make your own business policies. My policy is when they place an order for at least 6 months out of the year on a recurring auto ship that's $100 or more. Again, I've been working towards Auto Elite for what seemed like forever. Every December, I send them like a little holiday gift bag, and it's just full of stuff, right? And a thank you card. It really doesn't matter what's in it, y'all. So like, don't overthink it, what's in it. The point is that you thought of them and you sent them some happy mail. It's not a bill. You know what I mean? So don't overthink like the contents. It could be from Dollar General or whatever. But yeah, so every time they order, I send something digital. So it could be like a little card that I've made in Canva that just says, thank you so much for your order. I'll either text it to them from the app, or a lot of times what I'll do, especially if I have time, is I will actually make a talking story. And I showed this how to do this in West Palm Beach. But I'll make a talking story. I'll save it to my camera roll. I'll upload it to the app, and I will text them a video of me thanking them for their order. You can do that once and send it 100 times, because it doesn't have to say their name on it. Okay. It could just be like, every month you redo it, so that, like, it's not summer and you've got snow behind you or whatever, but you can repurpose it. But make that video once a month and then send that to every single person that orders in October. Hey, I just saw that you placed your order. Thank you so much. As always, I'm right here if you have any questions. I just really appreciate you. It means a lot to me. You could thrive with anybody and you chose me. So I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. That's it. That's the message. So I mean, does that answer your question? I mean, for our customer groups, I do daily health and wellness tips in there every single day. That's kind of the draw to join our customer group, is that you set up your free account and then you get access to the group that has a lot of value in it. You're going to get daily health and wellness tips. You're going to get recipes. We do giveaways. We do prize drawings. Oh, and by the way, there's tons of like results and inspiration in there, product information, files, you name it. So that's the draw to get them to create a free account, because without that, they don't get access to my group. Some people have big groups where they just add everybody willy-nilly. And without an account, I don't do that. You have to have an account to get in our group. That's the way the ATM method was created. We actually created the very first Facebook customer group in the company. And then I taught several of my uplines 200K leaders, because I wasn't 200K when we were 12K when we started my group. And so she launched it with me, because you have to be a 200K to have your own group. Anyways, and so I had her launch it with me, and then she shared it out to her 200K is now, like, everybody has them. So it's really fun because we're doing it the right way. There are some companies where they use their customer groups all wrong, but our groups are actually fun as thrivers. So lots of value. And really, the other thing I would add to that is building a community, letting people talk in there, not negatively, you as leaders have to be able to watch the posts and steer the conversations, in a healthy, constructive way. But I do feel like there's value in letting people actually have conversations in those groups and feel like they can cheer each other on. That's been a real big pull for us in our group, where it's like we have some people who join because they want Thrive, but they stay because of the community. That's a big one for
Which
our group.
I think is huge because, and I was talking to Brittany about this, is because, right, like people come on because they first came in Thrive and maybe they're interested. But what if they leave for a while, right? Like anybody who's been in this business long enough knows people come, people go, people come again, right? So it's like what keeps them engaged other than just Thrive. And it's like, yeah, you can intermingle Thrive in the underneath of it, right? Like show them how to make a shake, show them how to this, show them how to that. But absolutely, I think it's all about adding value, which is,
Yeah.
kind of what you're saying.
And
So
the other thing that I do for my repeat auto ships is, again, everything's digital for us because we don't have a house and I don't have like stuff to keep. Um, but I earn a lot of free credits both on my account and my husband's account. For me, one of the best well-received things that I've done for my customers is when they place an order twice in a row, they start earning. So like not just the first order, but also a second one recurring as of that third order. So it's kind of following in line with what the company does, but every month after that second auto shipment, their shipping is on me forever,
that's a great thing because we
forever
all
and
get
ever.
$20 coupons for getting packs, or we have the credits, like you said, whatever way you want to
Hmm.
do it. And I think that's fantastic. Actually, I have people that I can think of right now that I can do that for, that I haven't even
Yeah.
touched base in a little while.
And
That
it's
would be
and it's
great.
really inexpensive. I mean, our shipping is only $14.99, right? So
Mhm.
it's really inexpensive. It's not a big deal. Worst case scenario, you've got a lot of customers, which that's a great problem to have. And you've got like $400 in credit. Like I've got $400 in credits to divvy out tomorrow. Um, but what a great problem to have. I hit Auto Elite. I can spend $400 in Thrive credits that the company gives me to pay it forward. And I will just say, like, so think about wording again. I'm a wordsmith, but if you're going to do something like that, instead of saying I'm going to give you $15 off your order, have y'all ever seen that? Is it a Drake meme? Is it Drake that where it's like saving $15? No, but it's like, but free shipping though. Yeah, like it's the same freaking thing. We do some sketchy things for some free shipping, right? So we all do it. So it's just verbiage of, instead of, I'll give you
That's because we
$15
all
off.
hate shipping.
We hate shipping. We hate it. So I just tell everybody, oh my gosh, you've earned free shipping on me for life. All you have
Mhm.
to do is keep your auto ship for $100 or more in products. And shipping is on me automatically. You don't have to lift a pinky. It's on me.
Man,
And I just
I
make it like VIP
we
concierge
gonna
kind of
have to
thing.
put some kind of system in place to remind Bernadette to do that, because I'm afraid to make that commitment because I gotta actually remember.
Yeah.
Auto ships. So okay, gaining new auto ships. People who have stopped, maybe it's been a little while. You want to reach back out, right? And then retaining some kind of system, like you're saying. So like, right, you want to put these things in action, but it does no good to make a promise and not follow through.
Yeah.
So give us a couple of systems, things that you've done, that you feel help that they could use.
To follow up, to like
Yeah,
retain them.
exactly. To follow up, to get extra auto ships, maybe to like maybe every single month. Like I'll give you for an example, like every single month, like I created on my phone, kind of like what you did as a board, I do on my phone. So like
Yep.
I have samplers, Thrive ordered, follow-ups, and promoters. So like if people I in my ordered, I have people who are actively auto ship and people who were that stopped. When a great promo comes out, I make sure to reach out to those people who haven't ordered in a while and I go, hey, I have a great promo. Like, is there anything that you loved about Thrive, or maybe it was a different time or whatever, however I worded at the time, would you be interested type deal? So are there like systems or things that you've used to kind of put into place to go back to those people, to reach back out to them, or things like that to regain auto ships or to get new auto ships, maybe for people that sampled but never ordered, etc.?
I use that report a lot. That one that's my team, my customers, and then sort by last order. So for example, like today, part of what I was doing today is it's October 2nd. I was looking at September. Who didn't order in September, but they did order in August? They're not thriving. So to me, it's like a 911 emergency. So like you're not thriving. I mean, but I will go in there and I'll look at their August order. Did they order 2 months worth? Like, is there a reason they didn't reorder? And so for me, I just send messages. I'm just sending a message and I'm just saying, hey, I could be overlooking something, but I just noticed that you went without your Thrive in September. Are you good? on product, or did it skip or whatever. And I just ask them. They'll usually come back with, oh, I skipped it on purpose, or I don't, whatever, a problem or whatever. I just want to open the door to the conversation. If you can just get them talking to you, you can figure out how to solve the problem, right? So just getting that conversation starter. So I always go towards the whole, like, I was just looking and I know I may have missed it. I may have overlooked it. This may be my fault. And that kind of at least opens the door because it kind of softens that for them. They know I'm not going to like go for the jugular. And if they say they stopped it, y'all, don't be afraid of when people say that they've stopped thriving or that it's not right for them. Don't be afraid of that. You haven't done anything wrong. A lot of people would rather tell you, again, like I said in the very beginning, a lot of people would rather tell you Thrive sucks, the shake sucks, the capsules suck, I don't like the DFT. But they'd rather tell you honestly anything than what's really going on behind the scenes sometimes. Okay, you don't know what's going on behind people's closed doors. So I always err on be be kind when you're approaching them as far as like their objection, and just know sometimes the thing is not really the thing. So be kind. So I try to treat people like if they come back and say, I had to stop, it's not for me, then I would say, can you let me know what's wrong so that I can grow my business better, so that I can just have some feedback, so that I can improve, in other areas. Can you just let me know some feedback? Why did you stop? Whatever it is that they say, what I say then is, are you open to fixing that if I could show you how? Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Because everything is figure outable, y'all.
Hmm. I stole
So
that
are
from
you
you.
open to fixing it? I stole it from Reforlio. Are you
Okay, that's
open
fair.
to fixing it? If they say no, it's not for me, that's a hard stop. Then I pivot. Y'all remember the Friends episode? Pivot. Okay. So literally pivot. If they're like hard stop, nope, not for me, then I say, you know what? I really appreciate your honesty and I'm so grateful you thrived with me. Like seriously, it means the world to me. Thank you so much. And then what I say, so like every time you get a rejection of any kind, you can turn it right back into a yes, no matter what. So when you get a rejection of any kind, whether it's no, this is not for me, or no, I hate it, or whatever, right? All you need to say is, thank you so much for your feedback. Hey, listen, if anything changes, or if a conversation comes up with somebody that you know that you think I could help, would you think of me?
That's good.
They will always say yes. Always. Because for them, it feels better for them to leave you on a yes than for them to leave you feeling like your business sucks, your product sucks, we hate you, you're going to go eat worms. They would rather make you feel good too. So let them give you a yes. That way, the whole entire conversation ends on a positive, and now you pivot. Thank you so much for that. Hey, listen, tell me about your kids at homecoming. Oh my gosh, your pictures were amazing. Pivot the conversation and rekindle it and bring it back to the friend zone. When you do that, you've developed now such a level of respect for that person that you weren't trying to like get them and overcome their objections and like all this stuff, right? Which I'm not saying you shouldn't overcome objections, because if they are open to it and they do want to fix it, then that's the other, like, your choose your own adventure here, right? If they are open to it, then you say, okay, you said that your problem was this and that you didn't like this. If I can show you how to fix that without this, can we do that? Can I help
Hmm.
you? Like, if you want to do Thrive, but the cost is in the way, if I could figure out how to thrive for cheaper or even free, would you want to do that? Would you want to thrive? If the answer is
Awesome.
yes, continue your adventure. Then you would even say something like, okay, that's awesome. My friend is actually so good at that. I would really love her to help both of us so that I can learn too. Can I grab her real quick so that she can help us in a three-way chat? There you go. So that's honestly, those are the little choose your own adventure, like info funnel flows, like the conversation flows, that it's either one or the other. They're either a hard pass and you pivot to a back to relationship, or it's figure outable and you get them into a three-way chat and you've got your customer back.
So, okay, let's say, for example, somebody comes back to you and goes, Laura, I really love the product. I just am on a super tight budget. I can't afford it. I would love to thrive for free. I don't really know if I'm comfortable doing that with my friends. What give us what you say to that. How do you, like, they already said that they're open to it, right? They said that they want it. Give me your best implementation to help those people thrive for free. Because, like, I know for me personally, I've said to people, well, connect me to your people and I'll help you, but they never do. So,
Right.
like, give us some tips and tricks that you have found worked in the last 8 years.
So it's different for a lot of different people, right? And I also think it depends on your own confidence level of if you're ready to have that whole conversation yourself, you really, really ready, do it. But in most cases, I'm going to say 90% of the time, it is much more powerful when you have a 3-way chat going with someone who can help you with this. However, I will caution, like caution flag here, do not just plop your people into a 3-way chat without the conversation, because now you're double teaming that person. And it's like, whoa, sister, now I feel pressured. I'm out. Like it's Shark Tank. I'm out. Right? Like if you were to plot me in a 3-way chat unannounced to double team me to overcome my objection, I will literally never speak to you again. That is tacky. I will never do it. So when you're doing stuff like that, I would say I would literally just bring it as part of the conversation. You've already hopefully established what their goals are. What do they want from Thrive? Right? They want energy and they want mood support and maybe to lose a few pounds. Great. So you already have that in your notes or in the back of your mind. You're going to bring that back into the conversation. Okay, I know you're on a tight budget, but listen, I used to be an extreme couponer. We're going to figure this out. Okay. So, like, you said you wanted this. We've got a lot of products that, I mean, obviously, of course, remember this language. Obviously, the 3-step Thrive experience is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, and it's going to give you that energy and the mood support and help you lose weight even faster without the struggle bus. Okay. But you're on a budget. Let me ask you, what is the budget you're thinking of here? Like, how far away are we? The 3 steps is 160. What kind of budget are you willing to tell me? Like, what kind of budget are we dealing with here? How far away are we? Because a lot of times people are like, well, I mean, I could do maybe 100. Oh, girl, like we can do miracles with $100 over here. Okay. So like a lot of times we don't simply ask enough questions. So if they're saying, okay, well, my budget's like $100, like max that I can do. Okay. We can work with this. This is another great option for you to say, I know this is doable. Hey, can I grab my friend? She's super savvy with like squeezing the lemon and helping get the best deals, and maybe even, just one product or 2 products instead of all 3. Can I grab her real quick? I really want to hear her answer too, so I can learn. Yeah,
Mhm.
sure. Go ahead. Great. I'll be right back. I'm going to put us into a chat. That's okay, because you've gotten her permission. The other route you can do is, if you're confident in it, go with that yourself, of like the biggest bang for your buck is going to be the capsules. If they're on a super, super tight budget, listen,
Yeah,
I
one
want them
thing.
on the 3 steps. Yes. But if they can only do one product, it needs to be the capsules, not the
Yeah.
shake, not the DFT, always the capsules. Capsules are actually the #1 bestseller for all 11 years of this company for a
Mhm.
reason.
Those
Biggest
capsules are
bang
the
for the buck.
bomb.
They're for real. And honestly, once they start the capsules, they're really going to want the rest of the 3 steps, because they're going to
Mhm.
realize this over delivers. Okay. Like, we're not joking around over here, people. Okay.
And
So
like put them on classic because they get it right away.
yes, yes, they're gonna get the like zing, the jumper cables.
Yeah.
The other thing is that, if they're, and I just keep asking them lots of questions. I say, listen, it is possible for you to thrive for free. Literally, you can earn product credits before you even put in your credit card into the system. Is that something you'd want me to share information about? Like, do you want me to tell you more about that? Yes. Okay, great. How it usually works is, and again, it's language. How it usually works is, I would give you an example of something that you could post to Facebook, or you could send a few messages out, and I'll help you with this to make it really simple. But if you'd be willing to do that, actually, if you make a post, I'll give you X. So, like for me, I give them $25 in credits if they just make a post and tag
Mm,
me.
that's
If it's
good.
my post that I gave them, and my before and after the picture that I gave them and my wording, and they tag me, you have to follow the instructions, I will literally just instantly, no strings attached, I'll give you $25 in credits. Okay. So that's step 1.
Can you
I will
share
also
with
answer all
me,
the
Laura,
questions.
what you give to them so I can share it in my group later? Like the
Yeah.
actual thing that you give them? Okay.
Yeah. And it varies sometimes, but I'll give you an example of one
Hmm.
of the ones that I did recently. And it's my before and after. So it's like eye catching and whatever, but y'all can make it your own. And then So if they're willing to do that, and make a post, then obviously they're probably willing to message a few people. And I just let them know. I mean, of course, again, the language, of course, your friends might be a little bit more hesitant, if you're not like personally using it yourself. That's why it's honestly a lot easier to refer people when you're like, girl, this stuff is freaking legit. I don't know how to explain it, but all I know is you better do this. Like, it's a lot easier. And I say that, in a voice memo, I'm saying that to them because I want them to hear like the difference versus my friend says this is really good and message her, blah, blah. It comes across a lot better being like, girl, I don't know what's in this stuff, but it's legal. That's all you need to know. Like, you need to do this. I don't
That's
know.
what I said when I first started. I'm like, is this legal?
So, I mean, I'm just real with people and I say like it's a lot easier when you're actually thriving, but I will help you so we can try to do this for free. And I mean, I know, but again, I'm setting expectations. If we don't get like 5 people all at once, that's normal. That's totally fine. It's expected. But hey, the worst that can happen is nothing. The worst that can happen is everything stays the same right where we are now. Right. So I try to help them with the expectations and I also prepare them in advance for if they get crickets
Mhm.
because maybe they don't have social equity built up on their social media. Maybe they've
Yeah.
been super spammy in the past. Maybe they don't have trust built up. I don't know. So like I'm preparing them in advance of like it's fine if stuff doesn't go over very well. Um,
Do you ever
but I at
ask
least
them, like, is
try.
there like 5 people that are super close to you that trust your word right away that you could call that you think would like totally want to try this? And do you offer a sample to them? Like, do you say, hey, they can buy it? I know your sample system of, hey, you can buy it for $15 for the 3 days, or you can earn it by, for free very simply. So, like, what do
Mhm.
you lead in with that?
Yeah, I do, and it's just part of the conversation of, if I feel like somebody, and you're gonna have to use your own judgment on this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are people where maybe their budget is tight, but their social media is lit. You know what I mean? Like they're really good at social media. They've got followers. They get engagement. They're not weird and posting political crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like they've got good social media. So sometimes I will literally say, listen, if you're willing to make a post, I will send you product. I will send you 3 days of Thrive on me. Okay. So if they're gonna make that post and I feel like it's worth my investment of whatever it is, $12, to send them a 3-day sample, then what I say is, listen, your followers, your people will be much more responsive if it's you physically holding this product in that picture versus posting a stranger's picture that they don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, so use your own best judgment for that. And then, yes, I do incentivize their followers with samples, but my samples, the way I use my samples as little employees, they're out there marketing. That they're marketing. It's very rare. I say probably 9 out of 10 wannabe samplers turn into 30-day pack orders with me.
Tell us why.
They're really good odds. The reason is because every single person that starts off by wanting a sample, they create an account, um, they're in the Facebook group. I figured out their goals of why they're wanting to see, why they want Thrive. Once they have that conversation with me, I say, listen, let's pause for a second because before I get this shipped out to you and before you pay for this, I really want you to get your money's worth. So you can either pay this for that, or what if I gave you X amount of dollars off the 30-day pack and you're actually going to get real actual results and feel it working on that first 30 days?
Mhm. And would you say you get more bites off of that? And what is
Yeah.
that dollar amount that you normally offer? Is it a certain thing? If there's a promo out, is it different? Otherwise, you kind of pivot it for what it is that it is at the time. Uh, you
Yeah, if
found on
there's
that
if
a
there's
lot.
no promo, it's usually $25 is usually my go-to. Could I give it away for free? Yeah, but is that duplicatable? No. I'm only going to do for them what I would expect them to do for others if they become a promoter. So I'm always thinking I'm training them already. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
I will use a company's promo to my advantage, and the most I've ever done is $25 off of a 1 month supply.
Exactly. That's awesome. Absolutely. And I know too that like Do you ever offer them, like, do you ever do, like, I've had some people offer where they're like, hey, you bought your 30 days, it comes with 2 free samples. Who can we get them on? And if you do utilize that, tell us the questions. And then this will be the last because I know we got to go. Tell us
Yeah.
the things that you ask from them for the people to send to so that they actually use it, right? Because, like, how many people have people who it's probably still sitting in the bottom of the junk drawer?
Okay. And I actually have a real actual story. A girlfriend of mine, when we first started together, Barb Warren, God bless her. She was at she started, like, she was flinging out, listen, like, our whole samples training in my Facebook group is literally using her as an example. She's my best friend, so I'm allowed to do that. But that girl was flinging out Thrive samples like Mardi Gras. I mean, she was like, just everybody gets free Thrive for everybody. And so, like, we didn't know better. Okay. So she was at a family reunion. I think it was like 3 months later. Like, we were not very good at this. But 3 months later, she was at a family reunion, and she asked her cousin, "Did you ever use that Thrive?" First of all, if you have to ask, "Did you ever use that Thrive stuff?"
They didn't.
You did it wrong. Okay, but she
Mhm.
asked, she was like, "Did you ever use that Thrive stuff?" It was a 5-day sample, and her cousin said, "Oh no, I changed my mind and I threw it away."
Why did you give it
Oh
back, Joker?
I know. I mean, like, what? So from then on, we figured it out. Okay, we're doing it wrong. This is not okay. So yes, smart sampling has to be a whole thing. So my thing is, in case you're wondering if you've never heard of that before, of when people say your package came with 2 samples, it didn't. What they're saying is that's their business. It's your business. You're the store owner. You can make your own policies. Okay. You can make your own promos. That's the beautiful thing about this business. So if you decide that a 30-day pack comes with 2 free sample packs that you'll mail on that person's behalf, that's because those are your rules and you're allowed to play your game by your rules. Okay. So that's what Bernadette's referring to. Your
Yes.
30-day pack doesn't actually come with 2 samples. But yes, I have done that occasionally. I probably should do that more because I really like that idea of getting them immediately into, like, from ordering into
Yeah.
instantly
Like,
thinking,
go
who
get
do
me
you
two
know?
people that you know that need it right now, and let's
Yep.
get it in their hands.
And so the thing is, though, is that I still want you to do it with smart sampling. I don't want them to just be like, oh yeah, send it to my sister at blah 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 address and send it to my cousin Johnny at blah 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 address, and, like, you do it. No. Okay, the sister and the cousin have to go through the smart sample info funnel process, or no
Good.
sample for them. They have to get an account made through your customer's link. So you're giving them the link. You're training that person already. Imagine this person, and I know it's like wild, but imagine this brand new customer of yours on stage at Thrive Palooza telling the whole planet, okay, like Thrivers, telling us all how you got her started with her referrals. Are you going to want her up on stage telling everybody how you were just sending samples out willy-nilly, or would you, like, want to literally die? Okay, you'd probably want to die. So you're already training her on how to do that. So right away, you're going to say, okay, cool. Our customers actually can thrive for free with 2 referrals. Here's how we do this. I want them to create an account on your referral link, and then I want you to make an introduction with me in a 3-way chat or a text message.
Great. Perfect.
Like,
Yeah.
lead them through so that when they're a promoter, she's already got this in her head of the info funnel. There's smart sampling. There's a process.
Systems.
There's a
Yes.
system. We're not just throwing stuff
Yes.
out willy-nilly. Because then it also sets them up for success of, do I even want to be a promoter if you have to send a ton of products for free? Everybody, like, everybody gets this.
Yeah.
That's expensive to be a promoter. I thought they said this was
Yeah.
free.
I
They
think
don't
so
know.
many people don't think about that the people that try it, even if they think about doing the business, if you make it so difficult or you put out all this money that 90% of people can't do, they can't
Yeah.
duplicate that.
And they'll never tell you they're interested in promoting if they think, she just spent like $100 to mail a bunch of stuff. I could never. So I'm not even
Yeah.
going to ask. Like, they don't know that we get it all for free. They don't know how that works. So really, like, explaining that, and just, I always picture people up on stage at Thrivepalooza telling people, this is how Laura did it. And I would die 1,000 deaths if it was like, she just sent out a ton of stuff for me. Oh my gosh, no, I'm going to make you jump through hoops on fire to get me to mail out free Thrive for you. Nope.
Exactly. And I think it's good too, because, right, like, everybody's at different places. Like, we have, like, Emily Foster Brittany Walker. They're 200K. So, right, they're at different places in their business where for their team, they can do things, they can run promos. But when you're first coming in, if there is a duplicatable system that
Mhm.
number Sally down the block, who's a single mom, can come in on and do, hey, come in as a customer, get me two people. Great. You have credits for next month. Let's get you samples ordered, whether you want to bring them to your friends or you want to use it in the back office, whatever way you want to do it. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, it's a system that anybody can follow, anybody can duplicate, anybody can do. And I think that you get more retention with that because they see, wow, like if she did it and if this is how simple, like I no, not even kidding. A story from this week. I had a customer of mine who wanted nothing to do with Thrive because she hated MLMs, but she's good friends with me and she was willing to hear it from me because she knew it was for me. Like she just knew it can't be bullshit because you're telling me. And if it was, then I know you wouldn't be a part of it. And I literally was like, this company does not require you to pay a monthly fee. You do not have to carry product. You do not. And she was like, wow, this is nothing like any of them. No, it's not. She was like, you know what? Send me a link. I'm really interested. But she was so turned off. But because she sees the things that I post about how the company gives us these things, and I'm not even going to lie, like, don't hate me, Laura. Sorry, not sorry. Laura be having some good ass content. I just be screenshotting and cropping out the stuff and putting my face on it. I'm like, Laura, I want you to know that, you know, when people imitate you, it's the highest form of flattery. And this
Okay.
busy mama over here needs help.
Okay. Well, then to be fair, you can then crop my face out and put it on your body, yaddy
I
yaddy
will.
over there because I don't have that. So yeah, you can totally crop my face out on
Girl,
your
and I
booty, and
listen,
then we're fair.
on every call, I be giving Laura the product. I'm like, you met my friend Laura, you gotta meet her. She good, bro. Like I'm telling you, go follow her. Follow all she
Lord.
got. Go do it.
Oh my God. Well, and it's funny, like I'll tell you, so like for Emily and Brittany and all, here's the thing. And you mentioned this early in the call. I'm an 80K, okay, but I'm a 200K.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want all of you guys to think of is I don't care what your rank is. I don't care if
Yes.
you're brand new and you're a $200 K or a VIP, right? You have to start right now. If
Yes.
you want to get there, you have to start acting like that right now. And you're going to be
Yeah.
like, well, I don't have that confidence and I don't have that skill set. It does not matter. You have to borrow it from Emily and borrow it from Brittany or borrow it from me or whoever else you're looking up to. You have to borrow that and say, if she can act like that, listen, we all have the same website, y'all. We have the same product. We have the same comp plan. So therefore, if I'm confident in it and Emily's confident in it, you can be too.
Mm-hmm.
Borrowed confidence. The thing is that your brain is a miracle. You can learn all this stuff. You have
Absolutely.
to start showing up though as the person that you want to become. And because the only thing that's holding you back from the rank you're at right now and the rank you're going to be is the person that you're going to become along the way. That's it.
Absolutely.
It's just a technicality. It's already done. If you've already decided it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So all of that said is that you mentioned like that being a 200K or an 80K or whatever, you can afford to give away more stuff and all of that. Honestly, that's why you'll probably find though that a lot of 200Ks and 80Ks like myself, like I said, could I give Thrive away for free all the time? Sure. But is that actually serving someone? It's
No.
not. It's not showing them what this is. And so, like when I run team promos, and they seem super generous, or I'm giving out credits like crazy, I'm telling people straight up, this is how I'm able to do this. I took a piece of this bonus that I earned, and I'm allocating that as part of my business to put it back into my business to reinvest it. I'm not telling people I'm spending my whole check or I'm just super generous and I'm giving away Thrive for free. No, the
No.
company gives me this, and our company is seriously based on a pay it forward concept. That's why they enable us to transfer credits, and that's why they enable us to convert portions of our commissions into credits so we can
Yeah.
literally pay it forward. So
So
I don't
smart.
want you thinking that, well, when I get to 200K, then I'll be able to do things like, no, you can do this literally on day one. Day one, you can start doing stuff like this. It just may not be like you're not going to be giving away Gucci bags. Okay. Like, I, first of all,
No.
no. Okay. No. I mean, if you want to, it's your business, it's your business policy, but you're probably not going to. But if you do that, always remember someone is watching you and assuming whatever you do, that's what they're going to have to do when they hit your rank. right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
only do things that you want duplicated. Yeah, buy
Yeah.
fake bags.
That's
I
what I
mean,
was laughing
really.
at. Brittany was like, "That's why I'm over here with these fake girl." So just
Yeah.
for so everybody knows, just so that because like just so the system. So Laura, she makes them have to make a free account. They have to be a part of the customer group, and I am duplicating this in my own personal business because I will be 200K in an LV millionaire one day, and I'm from the jump when I only have 3 active promoters or 5 or 8 or whatever it is. Like I'm gonna duplicate this from the bottom up. That you're going to have a free account. You're going to have to be in our customer group. What's the other thing, Laura? I make them like the Lavelle fan page. I don't care if it's Instagram or Facebook. You're going to see the stories another time on there. They have to promise to commit to making a post. And I forget what the fifth thing is. I think there's one more. What am I missing? I have a
Uh,
picture. Hold on. I created a thing, guys. If anybody wants it, if you have me on Facebook or you can add me on Facebook, Bernadette Warner. So I literally, this is what I do because I don't got time to wait on people. Okay, I tell them just to message me their email and their phone number. I make the account. It's done.
mhm.
Except the invite to our Facebook group. They have to like the Lavelle fan page, one or the other. They have to. They have to commit to taking the sample and following up with me. That's the biggest
Yeah,
part of that conversation right there.
yeah.
Uh, Red Sadford, just add me on Facebook. I'll gladly send it to you. And then the last thing is creating that curiosity post about hey, and I send them a picture because right, I want them to do that day because they're gonna forget. Like, hey, I'm gonna send you this picture right now. Jump on there, tag me. I have the sample coming. It's supposed to make me have this energy and all of this stuff, right? And it's all in that picture. And then literally just tag me because when people are like, well, what is this? I'm interested. Hey, I'm so great. I could get yours out today with hers too. Would you be interested? Great. I'm sending you a message, right? Like always leave everything with an open question. Like, hey, how does that sound? Hey, does this make sense to you? Hey, like, is this something that you would be interested in? Right? Like you put the ball back in their court, but in a way that's not super weird and salesy.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and I mean the
anyway,
cool thing is like when they make that post on Facebook and they tag you and their friends start asking questions, listen, if they have more than like two people asking questions about it, the conversation is changing. The conversation
exactly.
is going away from, oh yay, you have people who could be helping you thrive for free to girl, you need to like consider hitting the promoter button because you could literally look at all these people that we can help. We're about to save the planet here. Like, what are
And get
you doing?
paid. And
Yeah.
get paid.
So, I mean, the conversation is just different, right? But it's just planting the seed. But I always try to limit the expectations on like, of course, depending on, depending on what they've been doing in their past. I mean, I don't know. Some people's social medias just are not awesome.
Yeah.
And we can help them with that, but right off the get-go, you're gonna have to make those decisions yourself. So it's not always cut and dry. It's not always, input, output. That's the hard part about giving verbiage and systems and funnels and things like
Yeah.
that. This is all something that you're gonna have to tweak. That's why I also really recommend, use I tell my team, and I'm sure you guys, all your leaders say the same thing. Please put me to work. The more you make me work for
Use
you, the
me.
more money you will make. Hello,
Yep.
like use
Use
me
me.
and make me work for you. The more money
Yeah.
you will make if you put me to work. I literally tell people like treat me like an employee. The more you literally assign me to do work with you
Mm-hmm.
on these three-way chats and stuff, the more money you will make and the
Yep.
faster this will go.
And I think sometimes asking them too, like, hey, where do you think you're going to have a greater influence? Do you think if I send you an individual message that you could send individually by text, you would get a better
Yeah.
reply? Or are you somebody who's super techie and you're great on social media? Which way is better for you? Because I want to set you up for success. So which way is the best way to do this for you?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
or both. Yeah.
Or
I mean,
both.
it's
Yeah. Or
yeah.
hit it all.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yep.
Well, this has been amazing. We thank you so much for your time,
Of
Laura. You're
course.
always a wealth of knowledge, your heart, your hustle, you being in the trenches, you're willing to serve sister side teams. Like you are just the best. Like I just heart you so much. I'm
I
so
love you
grateful for
too.
you. I literally, for those of you that don't know, when Thrive Palooza came, everybody was excited about Palooza. I hadn't even been here 30 days yet. I didn't know the difference. All I knew was I was going to find this redhead and we were going to be friends. That's all I knew. I was like, I watched her videos. I was like, this is my girl. She is my vibe. And she don't know it yet, but we about to be best friends because I'm about to stalk the Joker out of her. So hello, here I am.
Can anybody not be friends with Bernadette? I don't think we
No.
have a choice. But I'm just like, listen, I am always happy to help. I love this company. I mean, I truly Y'all, I have literally seen The Wizard of Oz. We are in the best company. I mean, there's a lot of good
We are.
companies, there's a lot of good products out there, but we have the best. Okay, I'm not gonna even dispute it. We really, really do. And you guys have such an amazing team. I will tell you, like all the way up, all the way outside. I have seen so many things about y'all's team. You really, truly have like an anointed team. I will just say
Amen.
that like you really have something special right here. So and I just think the community as a whole is so good that we can all collaborate and help each other. There's no
Absolutely.
weirdness, you know what I mean? Like it's that phrase, as the tide rises, all boats rise. When your team wins, my team wins because
Mhm.
together we're helping our whole company and it's we all live in the same house. You know, when our
Absolutely.
house is stronger, we all win long term. So if you're playing the
My
long
mother
game
had a
like I
saying.
am,
She used
that's
to
what it's
say,
all about.
many hands make light work.
It's very true.
And
It's
the
very
abundant
true.
mindset of there's more than enough people out there. We all have strengths to learn from. We all can learn from one another. And it's not a dog eat dog world. If
No,
you give, it will come back to you. If you are stingy, it will not. I tell people that
that's
all the
true.
time.
That's
So
very true. So I'm grateful that you invited me because that's how I
thank you
feel
for
too.
being on
So
here.
always,
Awesome. All right. Well,
always.
I will be recording this, uploading it onto my YouTube for any of you guys that don't. I'll try to put my YouTube and I'll put that other information in all the team chats for anybody that wanted it. So if you guys want to go back and replay this or share this with your teams, you can. And once again, Laura, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a
You're
great
so
night. Thank
welcome.
you for joining. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.